Okay, so this was a very fun episode. Has a lot of wholesome stuff and a lot of fun Tanjiro, Zenitsu, and Inosuke shenanigans because it's been a while since we've seen these three together. So let's go over this episode with the start of it being meeting the man, the myth, the legend himself, the Stone Hashira Guillaume. And his presence is pretty interesting in the sense that he definitely gives the presence of the strongest Hashira. And well, it's nice kind of seeing that Inosuke, Zenitsu, and Tanjiro are on the final stage all together. Because yeah, we've seen Tanjiro kind of building himself up since he was pretty injured from battle end last season. So it makes sense that it took him a little longer to get through because, well, he had to recover first. Moving on, so we basically have Guillaume essentially telling Tanjiro and Zenitsu, like, here's the training. The first one is the waterfall, so endurance. You will lift these 3 logs and then you must push the boulder 1 chew away, which it does give us a idea that 1 chew is 358 feet. That is still a lot for a boulder. It's funny because he did mention that he was gonna add what he showed us, what he was doing at the very end of last episode, which was standing on fire, but he kind of conducted that probably is dangerous for most people. But however, that kind of completely caused Zenitsu to faint, which I find Guillaume's pretty savage response of just tossing Zenitsu into the river. That's super freaking funny. But yes, we definitely have Tanjiro and Zenitsu kind of struggling to, well, do anything because it's cold. Well, more Zenitsu than Tanjiro, but it is funny seeing a familiar demon slayer return back into the episode by literally telling Zenitsu to cling onto the boulder because apparently it's warm. But then again, thinking about it in a logistic sense, the sun is hitting the rocks and the rocks do get hot, so it would technically make sense. So Zenitsu, without hesitation, bolts it. And yep, he is so happy, he's tears up, which, I mean, we get these little funny animation things that it's been like back, I believe, season 1. So it's been a while since we've seen these. So anyway, moving forward, we get Inosuke almost dying. We have Tanjiro along with my boy here attempting to do the training with the waterfall, only to eventually show that, yeah, it doesn't seem like they probably lasted long. So obviously we get more of Inosuke being himself. We do have a lot of conversations, but eventually we do get the talk of the mark, but we also get a little tiny scene of Inosuke being knocked down by the Stone Hashira because, yes, in the manga it does state that Inosuke challenged Guillaume and he got his face flattened by that. But it's just interesting, these little conversations while they're just eating, kind of building up more of ideas being bounced around among the group as well as others being informed, you know, classic things that build a little more of the world. Then we get more Zenitsu shenanigans where he kind of doesn't believe that you can actually push a boulder, and then freaking Guillaume comes like a savage once again to prove him wrong, and then Tanjiro being all positive, and obviously Zenitsu freaks the ever-living fuck out and starts beating the shit out of Tanjiro. Like, you can't make this shit up. I know people hate Zenitsu and his attitude here, but I mean, come on, it's pretty funny. So we have Tanjiro and Zenitsu once again attempting the waterfall, and I find it super hilarious how they're trying, and then somehow Zenitsu starts drowning. Tanjiro goes to save him, and then they literally just go back and try again. To which, I mean, Tanjiro was able to pass that, he passes the 3 logs, and now he's on the boulder. We get to see a few Demon Slayers leave, and honestly, it makes sense. Some Demon Slayers are not built like Tanjiro, Zenitsu, or Inosuke. As much as everyone dislikes Zenitsu and being a bit of a coward, he's still pretty strong. I mean, we've seen it in literally the Entertainment District arc alone should tell you that Zenitsu is not an average demon slayer. Well, he's not a normal one either. But not the point. The point is that we definitely see them leaving because they can't, but they know they can be more support and backup than anything else, which is fine. Everyone has their strengths. So Tanjiro makes them feel good by also saying these kind of things to them, basically supporting their decision and making them feel at least somewhat good of themselves. Before obviously continuing some training segments, we have him cook for everyone, which everyone loves, and then him and Genya speaking. Now keep this in mind. Genya and him started off completely in wrong foot because obviously Genya punched a child essentially, and obviously Tanjiro didn't like that, so bad start. And then it took the whole Swordsmith village arc where he wanted to kill the Upper Moon so he could be a Hashira, but throughout that they bonded enough to where they're more or less good. And here they're literally good because Genya is being nice to him. He is giving advice to Tanjiro on how to use like repetitive movement to essentially, he is helping Tanjiro to eventually push that boulder. So it shows that Tanjiro's relationship with Genya has improved vastly good. And then from there, we do see more training sections with Tanjiro going at it. And the animation really goes hard on this because they're quite literally having us see him sweating his ass off, like giving it everything he got until, like I said, Genya comes in again to help Tanjiro. And this is the bonding that is wholesome. He does mention something that makes Tanjiro sad, though Tanjiro kind of ignores it for a second in terms of being asked if he's sad. Because one important key factor that helps him eventually move that boulder is thinking about his family. Now keep in mind, his family was murdered. His father may have passed away by natural causes, but the rest of his family, aside from Nezuko, was murked unjustly. So yeah, that might have helped. But also Rengoku's words, which I like the callback to Rengoku, to set his heart ablaze, helped. And we see that crazy animation similar to Rengoku when he's doing his 9th form. Rengoku! So yeah, he was able to push that damn boulder. And fun little fact, we get to see the mark act up. So I'm thinking that Tanjiro with the mark is a lot stronger and is at the very least able to fight Hashiras without the mark. Well, probably besides like the top 3. For sure he won't be able to beat Gyome. Let's put it this way. Gyome without the mark is still somewhat stronger than Tanjiro with the mark in this point in time. But the fact that he was able to push that, it definitely shows that Tanjiro has grown quite strongly. And that's sort of how the episode ends. There is also the factor of what's going on with Muzan and his new Upper Moon 4 Nakime. And the way this is going is just, he is essentially trying to cover all of his tracks to figure out where exactly is Nezuko located, as well as Yubuyashiki, if that's the way you pronounce it. But yeah, he's essentially on the search. Like, it's not like the demons aren't doing anything. It's just that he's getting ready for essentially the biggest attack on the Demon Slayer Corps, because once he gets Nezuko, that's game over. But overall, a pretty good episode. I won't lie, it is probably hype just seeing Tanjiro speak normally with Genya, work together with Zenitsu and Inosuke to a small degree, and encouraging other Demon Slayers in different kinds of ways. And for himself, showing us that our boy Tanjiro Kamado is getting up there to Hashira level. If not, he's definitely about to reach it.